We've talked about drones a few times on the show before, like the Inspire 1 and the Phantom, but this guy here, the Mavic Pro, not their latest release with the Mavic Air. I haven't flown that little beauty yet. I'm talking about the Mavic Pro, which is a review that is long overdue. And although this look at the Mavic Pro is a bit late to the game, I still wanted to get it out since this is definitely my favorite drone that I have used yet. But first and foremost is the obvious thing about this, and that is its size. They've gone even smaller with the Air, which we'll definitely test out eventually, but even this original Mavic is insanely small for a drone and incredibly convenient to travel with. Everything folds right in on itself and the blades stay on, so you just pop it out of the carrying case, flip the legs open, and you're ready to go with zero setup. Then we have the controller, also incredibly small and fits right into the same carrying bag. In fact, I carry literally everything I need for this thing in here. I have 3 batteries, my cards, charger, the controller, and the drone, all in this tiny case. I think the size has to be my favorite thing about this drone. Like the others, I will be connecting the controller to my phone. This time we have these fold-outs here that you then put your device in and connect through this cable. It feels much more sturdy and comfortable to hold too. And it's all really intuitive. Of course, I have used other drones before, but I feel like even if you haven't, you'd be flying this thing within 30 minutes of getting it. But you don't have that long in the air. This guy seems to have around 25 to 27 minutes for flight time, but I never go that long out of paranoia, since there was at one time with another drone where I pushed the battery a bit too far.
Oh God, oh God.
Really, you want to stick to around 20 minutes, bring that baby back with 15% of its battery life left. But again, it's incredibly easy to fly and insanely smooth in the air, even with a little wind. Given how small and light this thing is, that's really impressive. And this, of course, is helped with the footage by the gimbal the camera is connected with. It does a great job of keeping the camera steady even when the drone is fighting some wind. Then you can make it even more smooth by throwing it into tripod mode. This basically just slows everything down to give you even more smooth movements or very little at all. This is great indoors, of course, getting stable shots that aren't as scary since it's not going to blast off crazy fast in any one direction. And then once you take it off tripod mode outside, pop it into sport mode, you can get this monster up to 40 miles per hour. For distance, this one is using a connection called OcuSync, which will allow you to fly up to 4.5 miles away while still delivering 720p image to your device. I've never tested that since I wouldn't want to send my drone that far away because that's insane, but it's also insane that it's possible at all. Back to the camera, which has a 35mm equivalent lens and of course a 3-axis gimbal. With it, you can record up to 30p in 4K or 120p in 720. You can choose between MP4 or MOV for video and JPEG or DNG for photos. For video, you have an ISO range of 100 to 3200 and photo has a range of 100 to 1600. And the image is really solid. Like the others, I did have to buy some third-party ND filters, these guys, to make sure my shutter speed wasn't insanely high, but after throwing those on, I was able to get really solid stuff. Recently, I used this on my short film Sentinel. I used it to get all the POV shots from the ship that's chasing my character, but I also used it to get that main opening shot, which my VFX artist Ryan Thompson then slapped some magic on to alter what we see in the distance and give it a much more secluded feel. I've also used this on Film Riot a few times, like with our Blade Runner test shot. And I've been really impressed with the image. For how small and cheap this thing is compared to other drones, it really is impressive what you can pull out of it. Now, I'm not going to go into all the settings for the camera in the app since they're pretty much the same as the others, so check the notes below for links to those. But now we break, then talk some smart features.
Since the dawn of time in puffy clouds, man has searched for the perfect way to create their identity online. Something affordable, reliable, and have easy website builder tools. The lack of this left the world cold and sad. But then came the dawn of domain.com. With it, you can get a .com or .net and take part in majestic flight, or brand yourself with any of the other 300 plus domain name extensions. Then bathe in the riches you've always dreamt of. Don't take my word for it. Listen to actually real people.
Before domain.com, I didn't have a wife, kids, a dog, family, or any friends. I was an alcoholic and so lonely. But now, thanks to domain.com, I have a website for my business for people to find out more about what I do.
I'm a doctor of medicine and chiropractics, and as a medical professional, I can tell you that studies have been done that show the lack of domain.com in someone's diet could lead to the dislocation of your actual butthole.
How much would you pay for a .com? $400,000? Not anymore. If you buy today, you get it as low as $9.99. Plus 15% off web hosting, domain names, and emails when you use the coupon code FilmRiot. Be your best self. Achieve your highest goal. Reach for the sky and keep reaching until the sun and stars slip through your fingers like precious grains of sand. Domain.com. It's not something, it's everything.
Logo.
Jumping back into intelligent modes, the drone is capable of some interesting little tricks like gestures, active track, tap fly, terrain follow, point of interest, and more. With gestures, you can put your arms into a Y to activate, then make a box to snap a picture of yourself. Tap to fly, which you literally tap on the screen where you want it to fly to, and it does. Then you have active track or trace mode, where it will find you in frame, then follow wherever you go. And tripod mode, which we've already talked about. Then a few other follow modes that I really don't use, but you have a lot of options here for all kinds of different scenarios. Then if you wanted, you could also switch over to Wi-Fi mode so that you can use your phone as the controller for the drone. I'm sure this would be useful in some scenarios, but none that I've come across so far. For me, I'm always using the controller. And finally, you can actually live stream right from this thing to places like Facebook or YouTube, which is crazy awesome, but again, something that I doubt I'll get any use out of. But that's pretty much it. It's incredibly easy to fly, has great image quality, and is crazy small and perfect for travel. All of that combined is why it's currently my favorite, but like I said in the beginning, the Air is out now, so my opinion could change. And Casey Neistat did a video with the Mavic Air, even compared it to the Mavic Pro image quality wise, so we'll put a link to that for you in the notes below, and I'll see you next week when I try to get Manny in the van, but he just won't listen.